Viktor Frankl was an Austrian neurologist, psychiatrist, and most importantly, Holocaust survivor. He was sent into concentration camps during Second World War where he faced brutalities and yet survived miraculously. His book, Man's Search for Meaning, unlike many other books of World War, is about hope, meaning of suffering, and his personal experience of survival. I am here to tell you 3 very important lessons from his book among many others. One of the very beautiful quote he says, which is also my favorite, is "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow." Viktor Frankl says man can face any situation if he has a reason to survive. Giving the example of his own despair situation in concentration camp where he found hope in contemplation of his beloved wife, thinking about meeting her in future, he says, if a person finds a reason to live for, then he can bear any difficult circumstances to survive and can also find meaning in suffering. The second important lesson he says in his book is, you cannot control what happens to you in life, but you can always control what you will feel and do about what happens to you. He says human beings may not have choice of external circumstances, but they do have a choice of action. You have a choice to make every day, every hour, whether you would submit yourself to the situation, whether you will be a plaything of circumstances, whether you will give up your freedom and dignity because of your difficult situation, or you will decide that you won't let your mental and spiritual freedom to be abandoned. No matter what, you will decide that your freedom to choose your attitude towards any situation, to choose your way, will not be influenced by your situation and surrounding. Viktor Frankl, explaining this, gives us a beautiful lesson. Everything can be taken away from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedom, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's way. Third, there is a close connection between a state of mind and state of immunity of our body. Giving the example about the increase in death rate of prisoners of war between Christmas 1944 and New Year 1945, because majority of prisoners had lived with a hope to be home again by Christmas, and when time came near and there was no positive news, they lost courage and disappointment overcame them, which had a dangerous influence on their state of immunity, and a great number of them died. So Viktor Frankl says, in order to restore man's inner strength, he must be given some hope, some future goal. So he says life is all about taking the responsibility to find the right answer to its problem and to fulfill the task which it constantly sets for each individual.